Welcome back, guys, to another Brave Exvius banner review. Today we're going over, you already have guessed it, the War of the Visions characters Sterne and Cottone. They are coming in. We're not doing Gilgamesh. If you want to do Gilgamesh, I already have a video for that character. I'll link it down in the description for you guys down below. And then Mont is going to have his own video because he doesn't require you to pull for him at all. So I'm just going to tell you how absolutely great that character is on his own separate video. So thank you once again for spending some time here again on the video, spending some time here with me, and then thanks for the support via Patreon as well as YouTube channel memberships. You guys do go above and beyond for doing that, and I want to thank you guys once again for doing that. I did say doing that quite a bit of time, so let's get in here right now. Let's tackle Sterne and Leonis first. Two damage dealing characters first and foremost, time limited of course since they are a collaboration. And let's talk about Sterne. He is a damage dealing character, absolute mirror of equity, chaining frame family. His TMR is the Fated Prince, which is going to give you 50% attack and 50% true double hand. So pretty powerful TMR right off the bat here. You can utilize this for boosting that attack up to the 400% cap, and your true double hand up to the 300% true double hand cap. So if you need this sort of thing, you'll use it. If you don't need this sort of thing, maybe you already have your 400% attack, maybe you already have your 300% true double hand, then this isn't going to be that valuable to you, but it is a very solid trust master reward. It is one of the good ones that I like to say there. So his STMR here is the Lion Armor. This thing is insane, in my opinion. I went in, I pitied him, you know, maybe I'll do a pull video or whatever. I went in there, got Lion Armor, got some cool stuff on the way there, and I Omni-Prismed it, and I asked Team Armugla. That's how good I think this thing is for you guys. So what exactly does it do and why is it so strong? Lion Armor, light armor, so it's not clothing, it's not heavy armor, it's light armor, so a lot of characters can wear it. True double hand, true dual wield, very good for both sort of characters. 434 flat HP, so a little bit of health, 38 attack, 38 defense. Strong but nothing super crazy, but it has the effect of Wall of Field, which is 50% limit burst damage and 50% dark resistance. The main thing about this thing is it is the 50% LB damage. That is very, very powerful. And the reason why it's strong is because a lot of the strong super TMR pieces of limit burst damage gear and materia are 50%. So this means that it's going to open up a lot of options for you guys there. It might open up a materia slot, might open up 2 materia slots, or an accessory slot, or a weapon slot, or a headpiece slot, because you'll have a character with 100 to 150% right base limit burst damage. You have on a true dual wield character, you can put on 2 50% LB damage weapons. You put this on, and all of a sudden you have no need to wear materia whatsoever with limit burst damage on them. So you can put killer materia there, you can put whatever it is that you need in that open materia slot. You put elemental resistance materia there. It's very, very powerful, very, very, very strong. For that reason specifically, allows you to just fit that amount much more of survivability or damage into a character that you normally couldn't. And it's a light armor, so a lot of characters can wear this. And like I said before, true dual wield, true double hand, very, very, very strong super trust master reward there. Definitely going to go on the list of super TMRs to get in a couple of different videos there, whether you're spending your STMR Moogles on them, or your Omni-Prisms on them, or if you're in preparation for Neovision characters. Very strong in all 3 rights there. So what does Sterne do as a character? First and foremost, guys, he's going to be a damage dealing character. Weapon selection, knives, swords, great swords, katanas, axes. Armor selection, light armor obviously, robes, clothing, helmets, and hats. And also light shields, but you're not going to be wearing that because he's a true double hand character there. His main damage dealing skills we're going to get into here is going to start down below with, we're going to have dual twin blade, which is going to be his dual cast there. He's going to have hard slash, which is a chain finishing move, 14 times mod, 5 LB damage, or 5 LB gauge fill to the caster there. We have hazard spin, his main damage dealing absolute mirror of equity chaining frame family skill. He does do 5% HP in damage to himself, so nothing really there. It's more for flavor or flash, but it is a minor downside. But it's gonna be a 2-part skill. It's gonna have a front loaded and a back loaded part. So the first 7 hits 1.0 mod, that final hit 12.3 mod, so base 13.3 mod, and these sort of multipliers that are applied to the skill are gonna get increased twice as hard because it has 2 different parts of the skill there. He has Kitone and Anton here, which are going to be his imperils and his imbue. So he has an ice imbue for 4 turns with a 100% ice imperil, and a dark imbue for 4 turns with a 100% dark imperil to go with it. So very strong there. Those are going to be his two big things there. He does have Hazard Form for a 200% attack buff if you want to use that before you gain access to his stronger skills down here, which will be Self-Sacrifice. So once you get into him 7-star, we have Self-Sacrifice, 5-turn cooldown available on turn 1. It's going to decrease his defense by 15%. Once again, flavor, and it's only for 1 turn. A lot of the times you may be immune to that anyway. 300% attack buff for 4 turns to the caster, and it's going to unlock his triple cast, Triple Twin Blade Sterne. Then we have Grim Reaper here, which is either going to be, get this, a 2x mod to one enemy in the first 7 hits, or it's going to have a 50% chance to inflict death, or do a 26x mod on that backloaded hit to one enemy there. Any sort of multiplier increases are going to apply to the skill 2 times. If the enemy is immune to death, it's just always going to be doing the damage. So it's going to be front-loaded 2x mod, backloaded 20. I guess it's not front-loaded. The front part is 2x mod. The backloaded part is a 26x mod. Then we have Hazard Break here, which is 2-turn cooldown available on turn 2. And this is going to be his skill you're going to be using every other turn, basically. It's going to do 10% HP damage to himself. The first 7 hits, 1.0 mod, ignore 50% defense. That final hit, 20 times mod, ignore 50% defense. So right away, this is going to be a 42 times mod skill before any sort of multiplier increases. And if he does get any, they're going to be applied 4 times in a skill like this, because it's 2 parts, and each part is ignore 50% defense. That's basically just how that math works out if you're new to the game. Ice and Dark resist 120% imperil for 2 turns as well to the enemy, and it also is an absolute mirror of equity chaining skill. So his main 2 damage dealing skills, Grim Reaper and Hazard Break, triple cast, 300% attack buff. That's basically him in a nutshell. Passives here, we'll go into it. We have a 15 times mod increase for Hard Slash, Hazard, Spin, Shuriken, and Counter Slash. 17.5 mod increase to Anton and Hyoton, which are his imbues and imperils, and then a 7.5 mod increase to Grim Reaper, which, remind yourselves, that's applied 2 times, so a 15.0 mod increase to Grim Reaper, as well as a 7.5 mod increase to Hazard Break, which is applied 4 times, so it's going to be a 30 times mod increase. So it's going to raise it to like a 70-something mod skill. His attacks and defense and HP and spirit, he's getting a lot of attack percent increases there, a little bit of defense, HP, and spirit, but nothing super crazy. He's not like a super bulky character. He's got a little bit. Then he also has 200% base true double hand there for you. He also has the counter slash, which we'll get to in a minute here. He also has a 40% increased counter chance, 30% dark resistance. He's immune to blinded confusion. He also has 50% LB damage, 100% high tide. He auto casts Inherited Valor at the start of the battle. And he also upgrades his LB for 3 turns when his HP drops below 81%. So not only are these little 5% HP downs, 10% HP downs, not only are they flavorful, because that's kind of what his soldier job in War of the Visions does, but if you get him to 80% or below HP, you'll proc the upgraded limit burst. So what you can do there is you can do Hazard Break, which is 10% of your HP. That's going to take you from full to 90, and then you can do double Hazard Spin, right, which might not be the highest mod skill, but it is pretty decent still. And it's going to give you another 10% HP loss. You'll lose 10, and then 5, and then 5. That's going to be 20% HP total. So it's to drop you from 100% down to 80% and upgrade the LB. And what do you get from upgrading the LB? Fatal Fang upgraded is going to give you a 100% LB damage buff for 1 turn to the caster, so kind of like Advent Driven Cloud. And it's going to be a 33 mod with ignore 50% defense, so a 66 times mod there. It's going to also give you a 120% ice and dark imperil, and then unlock triple twin blade for Sterne, which is his triple cast. If you don't have the upgraded version, the mod is a little bit lower. It's going to be a 60 mod instead of a 66, and you're not going to get that 100% LB damage buff there. So pretty cool. If you want to build him for LB damage, you're going to want to go ahead and proc the upgraded limit burst. Maybe either have him take some damage. A lot of the bosses are going to drop him below 80% HP anyway, so you don't really need to rely on the triple cast self-damage attacks to really proc that. There's a lot of attacks out there, right? They ignore cover, they do whatever, they'll chip down at your HP, and that'll proc automatically for you with these newer fights. But he only does have 50% LB damage, but like we talked about, he has a super TMR that's 50% there. You maybe give him a great sword that has some LB damage on it, some accessories that have some LB damage on it, a headpiece that has some LB damage on it, and a material or so that has some LB damage on it. You can get his passive LB damage up there pretty high. He has a decent LB damage buff as well, so you can build him a little bit of LB damage to get that burst out. If you have high-end gear, you can do good chaining damage with him and burst that damage out there. So is he going to be a good character in the meta? If you have all the gear for him, you want to use him as an LB damage dealing character chainer, he's going to do some pretty great damage and be like #1 damage dealer ever, broken OP character. Not quite. But he is going to be a good unit for you if you have the gear to back him up. You have the utility. He does have his own imbues and his own imperils, and his large 300% attack buff isn't too difficult to use. Doesn't have any crazy drawbacks. But like I said, guys, if you're pulling for just a damage dealing characters, right? You're not a fan of the character, don't pull for him, right? Neovisions is coming, the whole same shtick and spiel, but his STMR is insane. So if you are pulling for him for his STMR for the future for other characters, including just using it on new characters into the future, which is a pretty great thing to do, that's why I did it, then you're having a strong character to use in a lot of trial fights out there with Sterne Leonis. So the next one we're going to be going over here is actually Cottone, good old Cottone, coming in once again. One of my favorite characters from War of the Visions. Didn't get her in Brave Exvius, but it's okay. We already have her in War of the Visions here. What is she going to be doing for you here? Her two chaining frame families are a Stardust Ray and Absolute Mirror of Equity. And then we're going over her TMR and STMR. Her TMR is the Psycho Gauntlet, 142 HP, 43 attack, 26 defense, and has the effect of Fleet of Foot, which gives you 20% physical evasion here. So it's okay. It's there. It exists. We've already have access to, you know, some 4-star TMRs, right, that have 25% dodge. So it's really actually not that crazy. We have a 3-star TMR that has 20% dodge, so it's really not the craziest thing in the world. Rico Rodriguez's TMR. There's a bunch of things out there that have 25% evasion. Don't know why this didn't get buffed up to 25% evasion. So I'm gonna have to call it like not the greatest TMR in the world, just because the main thing on it is the dodge. Dodge is very strong, but there's already so many other things that have given 25% dodge in the future. But if you're just coming over, right, for More of the Visions or whatever, you're gonna pick this up. It's gonna be cool. If you have Cottone, you're gonna find a use for it. You'll get that other dodge from somewhere else, and you'll use it for a dodge build at some point. And so you can find something for some other collab, some other pieces of gear combined together to get 100% more dodge in a more effective way that doesn't use a Psycho Gauntlet. The STMR here, though, is the Night Blooming Flower, and I hate this STMR. I think it's pretty doo-doo, pretty trash. 70% attack, 60% lightning resistance, and 25% true dual wield. So not the greatest thing in the whole world. You have to pair it with something else that gives 25% true dual wield, right? She has her own event weapon that gives 25% true dual wield there, but it's a super TMR. We've had other things, right? Sora and Riku super TMRs that are 70% attack, 50% true dual wield. Even Riku's TMR had like a dark resist or something of 50%. So like this is just kind of, it boggles my mind. I don't think it's worth it. There's a lot of things out there that you could pair this with, yeah, but if you're looking for super TMR materia, true dual wield plus attack, it just being 25% is just not worth the hassle, in my opinion there. I'm sure you could find some use for it because of lightning resist and the true dual wield, and you can put them all together and in a certain trial fight. It's just not worth the investment, in my opinion. So the rest of her skills here, we have Poison Mist for an 80% fire and earth imperil. We have Shuriken, which is a damage and then like a bleed over time. Then we have Cottone and Doton, which are going to be very similar to Sterne's ninja abilities, are going to be her ninja abilities, and they are going to be Cottone has Cottone, which is going to be fire damage, fire imperil 100%, and a fire imbue for herself for 4 turns, and this is Stardust Ray. Her earth skill, though, is Doton, and that's Absolute Mirror of Equity, earth damage, 100% earth imperil, earth imbue for herself there. She has Shadowbind, which is going to be chance to stop, flavorful skill, just because she has Shadowbind and War of the Visions, really not all that great here. She has Utsusemi, which is going to give her 3 stacks of Mirage and fill her LB gauge by 6. We have Hard Slash, which is 14 times mod, fill LB gauge by 5. Then we have Dream Within a Dream Plus, and Dream Within a Dream Plus. So we have Plus is 2 times mod into 4 times mod into 26 times mod. Dream Within Dream Plus is 2 times mod into 4 times mod into 26 times mod. That's right, they're the same exact thing, but one is Absolute Mirror of Equity and the other is Stardust Ray. So she has equivalent skills, so she's actually really flexible. Stardust Ray, Absolute Mirror of Equity, excels in both. So that's pretty unique. A lot of characters who sometimes have multiple chaining frame families, one of the skills, one of the families is much better than the other one. Hers are actually equivalent here as far as base mods are concerned, and any sort of multiplier increases are going to go into these skills 3 times because it's a 3-part skill there. She also has dual cast with dual shinobi arts, and then we'll get into her 7-star stuff here. Speed cast, 5 turn cooldown, available on turn 1, gives her 36 LB gauge, crystals, 250% attack buff for 4 turns, and gives her triple cast as well. We have Decider of Fate here. 5 turn cooldown, available on turn 1, 120% fire and earth imperil for 4 turns, all enemies there, and a 5 times mod increase to Dream Within a Dream Plus and Dream Within a Dream Plus Plus. Like we said, that goes into 3 times, so that's a 15 times mod increase there. And then we have Dream Slash, which is a chain finishing skill, 36 times mod to all enemies. Then a 30 mod bleed per turn for 2 turns. All enemies can't be dispelled. The bleeds just aren't good in FFBE, guys. It's really not that strong. Doesn't take advantage of a lot of the mechanics in the game, chaining being predominantly one of them. Just not that good of a deal there for her there. Now, her passives here, we'll go into it. She gets another 4 times mod for Dream Within a Dream Plus, as well as the Plus Plus version, so they stay equivalent through her passives. This is actually a 12 times mod increase, so giving her a pretty strong buff. So you have 12 here, and then you have another 15 from the buff from Decider of Fate. So that's 27 total. And then you have the base mod here is 32, so 32 plus 27, what is that, 59 times mod, which is pretty powerful. That's a pretty big hitting skill. Triple cast 59 mod without really a whole lot of ramp up. You just dual Shinobi, Arts turn 1, Decider of Fate, speed cast, get the triple cast, get the attack buff, get your LB ready to go if you want to, get the multiplier increases, get the imperils out, and then you can go right on ahead and you can just cast your Cottone / Doton, and then Dream Within a Dream, Dream Within a Dream, and then triple Dream Within a Dream, all that good stuff there. She does have 150% true dual wield. She has the 6 times mod cap. She has 50% LB damage. She has the ability to actually dual wield 2 weapons, some decent attack and HP. Passives here. She also has some magic passives too for some reason. They're there. She's got like 90% magic for some reason, and a little bit of defense as well. So her other skills here that she can utilize here is going to be her Limit Burst, which is Saiga Shadowbind, which can be a 62.4 times multiplier to one enemy with a 90% chance to stop. And then also is going to get a buff here to Demon and Human Killer for 4 turns of 100%. So pretty powerful Demon and Human Killer buff there. You can utilize this to go right on ahead and prep up for some bonus damage right during a boss phase, anything of that nature. Is she broken? Is she crazy? Just like Sterne, she's not broken. She is good though. Triple casts 50 something times mods right away, right starting turn 2. Pretty powerful character. If you like her, you're gonna use her, you're gonna love her, she's gonna be good for you. But like I said, really not that crazy of a thing. Neo Visions, yada yada. But you'll find a use for her until then if you were a fan of Cottone. If I would have had my hands on her as a character here in the game, I'd probably be utilizing her just because she's cool. Her LB looks sick, super cool, dashing around. She forms like a blue shadow ninja thing, and they do like this multiple hit skill that looks insane. How many hits is her Limit Burst? 12 hits? Yeah, it's super cool. She's not LB damage dealer though, but she's a very strong and good character in the game. Sadly, unlike Sterne though, TMR and STMR are kind of garbage, in my opinion there, but her STMR, it doesn't stand up to Sterne. So that's what it's going to be, guys, for you guys here. Thanks for coming and hanging out once again. Spend a little bit of time here today. Thank you guys so much for the continued support via Patreon, as well as YouTube channel members. But until then, guys, stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.